Hello, hello. Once
Hello.
again, this is Wanayran Alvarez Moving Cultures, and we are saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where in the world you are at the moment. Today is Friday, 4th of June, and we have a very exciting guest with us, and her name is Nimoh. How are you, Nimoh?
Hi, Wani. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I'm very happy that you accepted our invitation to talk about your life, your journey, your passions, and what the future is at the moment waiting for you to come with. So,
Yes.
tell me, who is Nimoh?
Nimoh is actually a short name for Wairimo. It's my Kikuyu name. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya, but from Kikuyu tribe. So they have this beautiful name called Wairimo, but people like calling me Nimoh, like Finding Nemo. I don't know why. Yes.
And they call you Nimoh the Futuristic.
Yeah. So Futuristic came about because I love music and arts. So they kept calling me that. They needed something that, because they told me I love hip hop and I didn't look like I'm a lady who loves hip hop. I don't know how hip hop fans look like. So they kept on adding the futuristic there and it stuck. In fact, now I don't know if people know actually my real names. I think today is when I can tell them like my full names, Agnes, Wairimo, Gadi. And Agnes is a saint. So yes.
Yeah, but in your present life and in your everyday activities, you are Nimoh the Futuristic.
Yes, I am. I try to separate my personal life and my music life. I know it's one and the same thing, but sometimes you want to separate. Like when you're at home, they know me as Agnes or Agi, you know, and Nimo now remains to my arts family, you know. Yeah, so I am a mother of one, a very handsome young man. He's 11 years old. He's called Shahim. And Sauti Za Mabinti is like my baby, my project. Like when I got him, you know, the way you become a mother, you lose yourself sometimes. The Nemo disappears, it becomes Mama so and so. So I needed something to motivate me to feel like this is mine, this is my project, this is me, and it's going to explain who I am, and I can be able to express myself because I have a background in journalism. I love music, and I was trying to figure out what I can do in line of music. And at the time, they didn't have schools for music. The only thing you could do nearest to music was journalism. So after doing, I have a background in journalism, so I ended up in a radio and TV station. I was just doing research. Then they realized I love music and they put me on the music section. So that grew me a lot because I think they used to find musicians visiting me and they're like, we can play their music. Why don't you be on that? Schedule music for the station. And it was a vernacular station. But you see, even if something is vernacular, you get to understand the tempo, the rhythm. You love music. If you love art, it doesn't matter where you're from. Like I can see you've been interviewing different people from different countries, but we still feel what they're trying to do and their progress and their goals. So Nimoh is just a lady who loves arts and music. And after doing the journalism, I ended up also in events for the station. And then I started doing events personally for myself. And then people will approach me like musicians. They're like, you can help us push music for us on stations or TV station. Can they play for us? And I was doing it for fun because I love the music. And then they told me this is actually a job. But I was telling them it's my passion. Then I realized I'm working more with men than the ladies. And I was wondering, why do I go for functions and there are no women? I will feel like the balance is not there. So when I started feeling that I need to find myself as Nimoh, after I got my son, I needed to find Nimoh back. I decided to come up now with this event called Sauti Za Mabinti, which is Swahili for voice of women. It's the voice of many women. So I approached different friends of mine. One was a musician who actually made me even start doing events because she told me I'm going to concerts. I don't get an opportunity to perform. I'm also become a young mother and I need that opportunity. So I was like, this is my time to do it. So Nimoh loves music, but she was very shy. But now Sauti Za Mabinti has created, I'm able to talk about myself through the project, and I'm supposed to talk about it because no one else understands the dream more than yourself. So I'll just say Nimoh is just someone who loves music and arts. And I also love doing charity work. So for me, everything works together. It's growth for me, at the same time I'm helping someone else. It's just therapy for me. So I don't know if that's like,
You know,
yeah.
it is very empowering, to hear you talk about how this project has also created more opportunities for yourself to become more self-confident, to
Yes,
be more comfortable with your own persona, and created a bigger sphere, about your activities and your life. Let's
yes.
talk about women's confidence and women's self-esteem.
That's a very, very good question, because even for me, when I started, confidence, I'll just say in general, before I even talk about the arts, we always feel like we are not better enough, we are not good enough unless someone else tells us. Like a long time ago, people will tell you, if your father never told you you're beautiful or you are like this, then you'll have a problem, in terms of expressing yourself. And I think we need to talk to women to be open, to understand like we are all equal, even with the men, and we can come out and speak and do the same things the men are doing, but be very confident. Because one problem also is that the women feel like, I need to be given more opportunities. I don't need to be aggressive. I just need to be given opportunity to do it because I'm a woman. But there are other women who understand that I need to show people the passion, and I'm aggressive to do it. And especially in the African setup, they always feel like, it's a woman doing this thing. Why is she doing this thing? So we are trying to cut across that stigmatization of people feeling like women can't lead and do it, but also on our part. Because as for me, I'll tell you, even with an example, this was Binti. I never used to go for interviews. This is actually my second interview. It's because it's you, Wani. I was comfortable, yeah, to do it. But I used to send the artists to go to the station because I was like, I know I'm very shy. I don't think I can. And I don't know why I was feeling that, because when I express myself with my friend, they'll be like, but that's exactly how you're supposed to tell the people. Why are you afraid? I was afraid of, stepping into someone's, of my comfort zone. Let me say I was comfortable. And I think being comfortable it also makes your esteem goes down, You're feeling like I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe my friend who's more confident can do this. And I like my friends and my family because they tell you, do it, it's yours. So it's your time to go introduce yourself and say it, But it has been quite challenging. So I think even has become a problem for me not growing as Sauti Za Mabinti, because I'm afraid to go and tell people about Sauti Za Mabinti and how they will perceive me, like believing in your dream. So we need to be more confident by believing in yourself and knowing that you can be someone, you can be a leader, you can be in charge, you can do this. I don't know. That's why we're doing workshops, because I feel every one of us, even after I saw you, it gave me more courage, because you keep talking, you go talk to this one, talk to this other person. And I felt like, oh, they're actually like me. No one is even knowing what they're doing. They're just trying it out. When you sit around with people, I've talked to people and now I've realized, I don't know why I was afraid to do this. I will have done this many years ago, but maybe everything at its own time. So let's say confidence right now. I like that many women are very confident in what they're doing and believing, cutting across borders into trying out anything. But it's not like before for me. For me, you will say something like, are you sure you'll do this? Can you just change this project to be like this? Put more men, because I've had that. Put men in your show and it will be fine. They'll help you push. And I was like, no, let me just try at my own pace. But I've realized for my confidence, I work with my pace. So I think I'll urge any other person, female or male, to stand with your pace. Just note down where you want to be in few years' time. Just have every time make progress, no matter how small it is. just, congratulate yourself. That's what I do for myself, because I was, like I said, I was very shy. I didn't know, like, I could do this meeting. Maybe I'll wake up in the morning and tell you, one year I cannot do, but I'm just learning. So I think there are many girls out there who have very good ideas, but they just need to take one step at a time. If you make a step, that is something. The way to build your confidence. Don't look at any other person and their pace, just use your own pace. That's what has really helped me in terms of building my confidence. And I think for any other person who's shy can try, because we're all different. That's what I came to realize. I'm not going to look at this one. I'm just going to look at myself and give myself targets. So at the end of the day, if I want to go introduce someone and tell someone about my project, I'll even talk to my friend and tell her, she's called Carol. I'll tell her, I want to do this. Can I explain it to you so that now you tell me how I'm doing? I start small. Yeah, but it's quite a challenge, I think, even for the musicians starting, even going on stage. You can see it on stage. Someone is really good in the studio, but when they go on stage, you're like, hey, okay, I need to work on her stage presence. She's very shy, but she's good. It's just, I don't know what we can do to make people believe in themselves, but I think that's the only thing I can say for now.
Nimoh, you mentioned something that is very important, and is actually the key to improve your self-confidence. You talk about young girls, the new generation.
Yes.
The earlier you start creating awareness on the new generation, male and female, because they need to both understand the power that each one of the gender has, and how they can collaborate and respect each other. Another very important aspect that you mentioned in these few minutes that you were talking about women empowerment is that some people need to be teach, like you say, how to speak in public. They also need to be teach how to understand the space, and sometimes it's easy, like you say, to be in a one-to-one performance, or you can be in the studio with the staff, but another one is to be in front of hundreds of persons. And that's also a school. There is school. If they go to drama school, they will learn how to deal with themselves at the moment they are representing the actress or the singer or the act, because it's a very big difference. Like you say at the very, very beginning of the conversation, I separate Agnes from Nimoh.
Yes.
No, and that's also what happened to the performance. There is a persona who sings, but it's another persona who has to go on stage.
The alter ego.
Exactly. And that's also something you need to start teaching the new generation, how they can control it, because the ego can be bigger than themselves.
Yes.
And that's also losing balance. It's about understanding qualities and the skills and the power, but using it in a wise way. What do you think about this that I'm just sharing with you?
Actually, that's very good. We do workshops with Sauti Za Mabinti, and those are some of the topics we cover. So there's that art therapy, then there's that presentation of yourself, like how to dress, because some of them are not really confident in their dressing. So we get someone to talk to them about how you dress, how to look like a brand, and then do workshops for other artists who've been there before, who can tell them when you go on stage how you present yourself, but knowing their personalities. Because I realized when you understand someone's personality, now you're able to group this one on that side and this one on the other side. So even for interviews, when I was working with the artists for interview, before they go for an interview, we do one. Then I record them with the phone, and then I show them, and then I tell them, now this is how, let's do it again and see the changes. That is the most important bit for Sauti Za Mabinti, is having that platform for workshops to train them at that young age, and then have, because we have different women from different areas. You'll find others are way confident, and the rest are not confident. So I mix them together. That's where the networking comes in. So we have someone grouping them together, making sure each and every one of them presents. There's a lady called Tony Blackman from New York, Remleka girl. She came last year, International Women's Day, and she sat down with the ladies and they did this workshop where she picked everyone and told them, you have to present something. No matter how shy you are or how long you're going to be on stage, I want you. I don't want you as a group. So I think at the end of the day, that's what we do. We do the workshop and then now they perform. And you can see a very big difference. Because I've realized there are women who, when I call them, there's an event, you need to go. And then they're like, if Nimoh is not there, I'm not coming. And sometimes I don't need to be there. I'm wondering, why do I need to be there? And I had to tell them I'm also very shy. In fact, but I'm trying to do it. So you teach them. So the workshops right now is what I realize is like key. Yes, they will perform, but even expressing themselves, they don't know how to express themselves. So the way you said, you teach them at an early stage is good. It's actually, in fact, we need to start now when they're in high school, when they're teenagers, when you visit the schools, we do that. And when you are trying to get talent at a young age, Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Nimoh, you were also talking about men, asking you to include more men into the Sauti Za Mabinti. Yes. But let's talk about what is exactly Sauti Za Mabinti. It's an agency, it's a platform. What is it?
Oh, so Za Mabinti is I call it an initiative, but it's a platform because it's an initiative creating a platform for all the women in the entertainment industry. All genres. I started with hip hop because I love hip hop, like I said. But when they did their first event, so many women called me and they felt sidelined. They're like, I do rock music, I do Afrofusion. Why are we not part of that? So, like I said, I got to embrace that because I was learning as well. So I created a platform for all genres of music, as long as they're doing conscious music. Even though they're not doing conscious, when you're doing the workshop, we actually guide them. Like, you need to express yourself. I want them to sing and express themselves about the issues we face as women, because we're all women from different cultures and places, and you can use music to educate, so, and for therapy. So it's a platform that for women that have created an initiative that created a platform for women in all genres of music to build each other, educate, network with the other women, cut across borders, and then also empower. So those are the three key things we do. And we do three through workshops. We want them to educate them through workshops, different types. So today we'll do branding, tomorrow we'll do entertainment business, because they also need to understand the idea and the concept. So if it's writing, they're not really good at, that's what we also teach them. If it's intellectual property, that's where the workshop is. And then the events come in now after they've learned that, so they can present and we see what they're doing. Yeah. And then after that, now we can do the networking. So networking, I've started home. I know I get Tanzania and Uganda, they're really interested. They're like, Nimoh, come do it there. But I think I have to start home, mobilize the women around me, so that to grow them even mentally, because mental health has become a really big issue. You can notice that by listening to music, because sometimes you listen to music and you're like, oh, I need to talk to this lady. I think she's going through something, because the music either is so dark and they're calling out for help. So we are working with Caroline Jerry. She has Artporium. It's another initiative where we're trying to do art therapy. We help them use their art for therapy, because it's becoming a really, really big challenge for us. So the workshop, the networking, and the events, that's what we usually do for Sauti Za Mabinti. And then every event is themed. So maybe if it's Mental Awareness Week, we want them to talk about mental illness in their music, to express themselves the way they know best. So also to help them learn not to just sing the same old song. You need to have themes to learn. So if you want a song in relation to this theme, you are able to write it down and talk about, if it's water, talk about water. If it's female genital mutilation, the same. So we have different women who talk about where they're from as well. And that's the platform I want to create for all the women to understand we have the same issues and to learn, because it's very important for all of us to learn the different cultures. And then now from there, they can go to networking, working with Tanzania, come to Bangkok, like what you do, moving cultures. Yeah, so that was my plan to do it.
Nimoh, tell me more about the men's role in the Sauti Za Mabinti.
Actually, the men have been very supportive, I should say, from my father to my friends, the fans. Most of my fans were men. That was actually a very big challenge. I was doing a Sauti Za Mabinti event and most of the people were men, because of course the women are the ones performing. But now I started telling them, hold the hand of a lady, because there's a message you're passing. And it is very important for you to assist us. So they've played a very great role, because they keep on bringing their female friends, making the event known. They support even when some guys support when I don't have money to pay, because I use my own money and from friends to pay the artists or to have this, to facilitate these workshops. And some of the guys contribute. They're like, let's pay, we'll give you money to pay the artists, or we'll help you with a venue, and also just different guys, they just help like that. And they come for the shows, So they really helped me, because my challenge was I'm just seeing men, there are no women, but right now they keep pulling their female friends, their sisters, to come for it. So I really thank the boy child, because there are people who call me and there are guys who ask me, when are you doing your event? You need to add this on your projects. You need to do this for women. And I appreciate that. So what I do nowadays is when I'm having an event, I put one male artist to perform, but he will be the curtain raiser for the women. I will not place him on top, but I want them to be part of it, because I also don't want to shun the men. The boy child needs a lot of nurturing as well, because you find out here the girls everywhere, like the girls, their way, their confidence, we cannot compare with the boy child, and it's becoming like a problem and a challenge. Considering I have a son, and I know you have a son, those are issues we want to address. And hopefully when so the Mabinti has become well and able to be managed, I can do it. I can still do for boys, because I still have a passion for boys, because I can see where we're heading right now. We want it to balance, like you said. So the men really help me a lot. Like if it's interviews, someone will tell me, I have this, someone, go talk to them. They will give you the venue. So I really appreciate the men as well in my life.
Okay, so you are all keeping inside the importance of inclusion.
Yes.
Yes, so it's a key element also in your vision and also mission as Sauti Za Mabinti.
Yes.
Tell me, what is the situation of women coming from the rural areas versus women from the urban areas?
Thank you. That is a very good question. The urban areas, they're able to even participate for projects. Like when you have workshops, they'll tell you will be there. For the rural, they have so many challenges, like maybe reaching to Nairobi to be able to come. The challenge is having money, leaving their workplace, which is like the farms, or maybe they don't have work. And to them, this is an extra curricular. You don't need it. So it's really, they're very suppressed. They don't really nurture their talents or showcase their talents, because they don't have the time. And no one has told them that this is actually good for you. It's therapeutic. So it has been quite a challenge. You get a very talented artist. Someone sends you a short clip about this person from Samburu, and you're trying to figure out how do they get to Nairobi. Those are expenses on your side to bring them. And then you have to convince the person who lives with them, if this is a young person, why they need to come for this and why it is important. So that has been a great challenge. And that's why I'm thinking of going to each town. when I go to each town, because Nairobi, you can reach, I've reached as many women I can. Nakuru, I have reached many women I can in the main towns. But the rurals, that is the biggest challenge. And they're very talented. These are people who need the workshops more. Even these ones need the workshop, but those ones need them more. So when we do the workshops, we want to train these other artists, like 2 or 3, then we go with them. So when we go there, they have someone who is an artist and they can express their feelings and their views to them in a manner they will understand. You know, they will tell them, I'm a musician. This are the struggles I've gone through, and this is what you can do personally, and this is what you need to do. You know, that's the networking that I'm looking for. You know, that rural lady and the urban one to work together to build something that is going to be last longer. Even when I'm not around, they can do workshops and educate, because maybe in Samburu, there's that female genital mutilation, address that issue. But you see, before you start talking about music, you have to find out, are they hungry? What are they going through? You have to deal with the issues there on ground, and then now put music there. So you have to start with that, and then now find a way to get music and the art therapy for them to understand you. Because there's places you do events and you go see them and try to do workshops and they're hungry. So where do you start? You have to go with food, and then they're able to, you get their attention, and then you start. It's quite a challenge for the artists.
Nimoh, has you considered to create an itinerant Sauti Za Mabinti program that is about mentoring women through the artists who are already established in Nairobi, like you mentioned, and then you actually visit the communities and create chapters of Sauti Za Mabinti in those communities. So they don't have to be coming, but you train trainers.
I train, yes, that's what we're doing. My friend, Carol, she's called Carol Angerer. We are working on the mentorship. We want to start with Machakos. In fact, it's because of COVID. We was to start last year, early last year, to visit different areas. We train them, we teach them first, and then we train them. And then now we leave people who are in charge, but we'll be going back to check. You see, like the way you just train and then go supervise. Yeah, we've seen that need. It's because COVID really took a toll on us. So we had to go back to the drawing board and find out now what to do, because we wanted to start with, I talked to the governor, one of the governor's wife. She was very interested in the mentorship of girls. So we wanted to start that program there, because we had help. You know, when you have someone on ground, it's easier to be able to facilitate and find people who are willing to learn. And then from there now, we move from town to town. That's what we're actually planning. Yes, that's what we're actually planning. Because I was feeling when I'm doing Sauti Za Mabinti, it was just music. And that's why I felt I wasn't giving much, and I needed to, you know, give much and help the women, build the women, mentor the young women, even the old, have people around. Yeah, because everyone needs that. That's what we're planning to do with my friend.
So practically, you are now in the stage of using music and art as a transformative tool for communities and empowering women in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Congratulations, Nimoh. And I think you really have started a movement, you know, with voices of women, with Sauti Za Mabinti. And first, like you mentioned, nurturing the artist itself.
Yeah.
And now teaching them how to use their talents to also impact the community.
Yes. Because I realized, you know, when you talk to the artists, then you find them going around talking to girls. They're not even well themselves. They need to be really empowered. We need to take them through the art therapy for them to be able to even advise anyone, because they're going through a lot. That's why, like, music is therapy for them. That's where they release their problems and their issues. So if they've not dealt with their issues, they cannot pass any information or positive to the next person. So that was like quite a challenge. So training the few women who are consistent, because, you know, the challenges we face are, today you'll find this female artist who's very amazing. Then she'll come and tell you, you know, now I'm a mother, you need to give me time. I have to do this. So I keep pushing them back, holding them back to come back and do. But when you find someone consistent, like 3 or 4, that's what we are trying to do. When we start with that, people on ground who are willing to help us, and then from there we move to another, because we need to do that. It's easier that way.
Nimoh, we almost reached the 30 minutes with you. Yeah. Time flies. And I would like to share a video clip that I got from your page. And at the same time, thank you for the great work you are doing, you know, changing mindset of men and women in Kenya and around the world, and the use of music and arts as a transformative tool. So let's go and see this video clip that I have prepared for the people so they can enjoy with us. Okay, let's go. Let's see.
I am a singer-songwriter, and I'm going to do a Valentine's medley. And this is Love at a Gallery.
I am December. I am Vanessa's instrumentalist today. I am a guitarist and a pianist. Welcome.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven or touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to say. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. If our love was a fairy tale, I would charge in and rescue you. On a yacht, maybe we would sail to an island where we say I do. And if we have babies, they would look like you. It'd be so beautiful if that came true. You don't even know how very special you are. You leave me breathless. You're everything good in my life. You leave me breathless. I still can't believe that you're mine. You just walked out of one of my dreams. So beautiful, you live with me, breathless. And if our love was a storybook, we would meet at the very first page. Our last chapter would be about how I'm thankful for the love we've made. And if we have babies, they would have your eyes. I special you are. You leave me breathless. You're everything good in my life. You leave me breathless. I still can't believe that you're mine. You just walked out of one of my dreams. So beautiful, you leaving me breathless.
Okay, very beautiful. You know, it's so nice to see young women sharing their love and their good energy with the world. So once again, Nimoh, give us your last message to the public and the world about love, community, and transformation.
Okay, all I like to say is that with love, you know, everyone around you is your community. The first person near you is your community, and you need to make that change. And you cannot do that without love, okay? And without us being a community, there will not be any progress in life in terms of all the problems you're facing in this world. So first, we love one another, give each other space. You don't know what each and every person is going through. Support one another. And I think that is what will make us great and amazing.
Nimoh, thank you so much for this 30 minutes talking about Sauti Za Mabinti, the voice of a woman. So once again, we have our next guest from Kenya, and she is going to be talking about Ability Society. So see you in a few minutes and an hour or so. Thank you so much, Nimoh.
Bye, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.